It's been a great weekend for me. I've just witnessed Jannik Sinner win yet another title and Joao Fonseca win his first ATP 500 event. It's looking good for my battle against Ben with Lerner Tien, and Jannik Sinner is coming for number one. That's right. I was joking around with you not too long ago on a podcast saying, is it possible for Jannik Sinner to be world number one? And right now, he's looking like he still won't be able to be world number one because Carlos Alcaraz is too far ahead. However, it has got a little bit more interesting. We've got Jose Morgado saying, if Sinner wins Paris and Alcaraz loses before the semi-finals, Sinner will be back to world number one for a week before losing it again 1 week later when the ATP finals points drop. And you can see here the new top 10. Alcaraz, 11,340. Sinner now with 10,500 points. Crazy considering he missed part of the tour this year with his suspension. I believe he's only played 3 of the 8 Masters events too, and that just shows how dominant he is. I think really for him to be world number one, he needed a win Shanghai, and it wasn't to be. So credit to Alcaraz, he's been fantastic, and I think you can make a case for either of them being very deserving world number ones. And we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot at the moment with the men's tour, with Alcaraz and Sinner as the poster boys. And Sinner definitely delivered. I mean, he beat Zverev today in a really good match. I thought Zverev played very well in the first set, especially. But in the third set, he was pretty good too. He just got nervous towards the end, and you see it's the same old Zverev really. At 5-5, there was a moment I think he won the first point, and then beyond that was playing far too reserved, not attacking, nothing too deep on the baseline. And Sinner just stepped in and just give it his all. And we know Jannik Sinner's forehand quality this tournament has been up there with the very best. He's breaking records. I think it was a really good performance from him in spells. Physically, he struggled. He was cramping. But yeah, just really good to come back from a set down. It's his 22nd title. For someone who's only 24 years old, that's pretty amazing. He's, of course, won Vienna before. It's his 10th consecutive win, and he's won 62 of his last 68 matches. And you can probably guess most of them losses have come to Carlos Alcaraz because everyone else he seems to be able to beat quite comfortably. But Zverev turned up today, and it was not easy at all. There was a moment where I thought Zverev might be able to do this. But Sinner he found another gear and was finding a lot of winners. I saw more backhand winners from him today than usual. And he was going to the drop shot quite often and getting quite a bit of success, to be fair. Some more Jannik Sinner stats. And that is his record since the US Open 2024 is 13 finals out of 15 potential tournaments. And that's including the Six Kings Slam. So out of the last 15 tournaments he's played, he's only not made the final twice. And then he's gone on to win 7 of them. Just incredible, really, numbers. And these losses, like you see, like I've said, most of them coming to Carlos Alcaraz, which I feel is not the worst thing in the world. And when you look at active players, he now has gone clear of Daniil Medvedev with the 22 titles. He's 2 away from Zverev, and it highlights something we've been saying for some time, really, how Zverev is the best player in the world yet to win a Grand Slam, or the best player who's never won a Grand Slam. Maybe if you go across different generations as well, but that's often difficult to do in tennis. He's won 24 titles, yet can't win a Grand Slam, and I don't think that's going to happen for him. Alcaraz also on 24, and Djokovic, only the 100 titles for Novak Djokovic. And this year, He's been the third best player without playing too much, and we're not seeing him in these tournaments too. Let's have a look next at this one, because I believe this reads, and my Spanish isn't great, but I think it is tennis players who have won an ATP 500 before their 20th birthday, from in the Open era, 2009 to 2025. You've got Sinner, Washington 2021, Alcaraz, who won Rio and then Barcelona back to back, and now Joao Fonseca. And it sort of comes nicely onto my next topic. I've spoke about Jannik Sinner. Do I think he can really be world number one? He's going to have Alcaraz struggle physically and not play many events, which he's going to be playing Paris. Is he going to go out early? I don't think so. We've seen the draw for Paris. We've got Joao Fonseca and Alcaraz on the same half. And I need to speak about Joao Fonseca because he was my wild card at the start of the year. He was outside the top 100, and he was the player I thought this year would step on the gas and produce some big results. And that's exactly what he's done here. This is his biggest title to date. And I've just prepared this before to verify it because it's 2.5 million euros. It's his first ATP 500 event, and it was on the hard indoor courts of Basel. He did win earlier this year on a clay court in Buenos Aires and a few challengers too. But this one is a big one. And I think it's him really announcing himself as one of the top elite players. When you look at that forehand quality and the pace, more so the pace, I feel only Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz can hit like he can. And that's got to be scary. As much as Zverev has the weapons to, Fonseca certainly has wow factor. And what I'm pleased about is he's put a little bit of distance between him and Lerner Tien, who is Ben's wild card of the year. You can see Joao Fonseca now up to 28 in the live rankings. He's jumped 18 spots. And Lerner Tien, here he is in 39. But they're both going to be playing Paris. So a lot at stake and something for me and Ben to cheer for. I'm obviously going to be going big on Fonseca. And I think I've got a good chance. Unless physically he's not going to be at his best now in this next event after winning this event is possible. I believe he's got Shapovalov, which, as you know, is not the nicest of matches. And some stats for Fonseca. He is now a top 30 player and seeded at the 2026 Australian Open, which is huge. It's so important to be a seed for the Grand Slams. It helps you out no end with the draws. And let's see what he can do, because in all of the other Grand Slams he's played, he's beaten some big players in the opening round. He has lost then to players you'd expect him to beat on paper, but that's going to come with experience. And I think winning this big title surely is going to help him out no end. He now knows what it feels like to win an ATP 500, and I'm sure he's going to be hungry for more. In the final, Davidovich Fokina, he's playing well. He's at a career high. He's someone we've been following on the channel for some time, me and Ben. Good player on all surfaces. Just can't get that final over the line. It is really sad because I really want him to win a title, but just seems to be losing in finals at the moment. But yeah, the first Brazilian to lift an ATP 500 trophy. So shout out to any Brazilians listening. I know this is a joyous occasion for you. And Brazilians love their sport, not just football, but tennis or any sport for that matter. And I think he's going to be the first Brazilian to win a lot of things. Masters, maybe a Grand Slam. When it's going to come, I'm not sure. But I do believe it will happen. And I think for me, the big target is for Joao Fonseca to try and creep inside this top 10 next year. I think he's got the ability to be there with the likes of your Ben Sheltons, Musettis, Casper Ruud, Felixes at the moment, Jack Draper, of course. And I think he's in that conversation if he can bring some consistency to the table. And that's certainly what we saw today. He was electric against Davidovich Fokina didn't put a foot wrong, very aggressive, and had all of the tricks in the book. But that's my thoughts anyway on the 2 European ATP 500 events. I enjoyed both of them thoroughly. And of course, I can come on here and gloat a bit because Jannik Sinner, I have been singing his praises. I was saying how I think he can come close to that world number 1 or even get it, but it's not going to be, despite his valiant efforts this year. But next year, it is on for him and Carlos Alcaraz, a difficult race to call. And Fonseca, I think he's going to be fighting a different race, and that is trying to get inside that top 10 and make some indents into a Grand Slam. But that's my thoughts on the matches today. Both of them very high level, and I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Zverev and Davidovich Fokina because they played very well. And all 4 of them have some good chances in Paris. So keep your eyes peeled. Carlos Alcaraz is to return too. Let me just have a word on Carlos because I like this photo of him in the press room with his new haircut. And he said that the courts in Paris, it's totally different from last year. It's much slower, but I like it this way. We can see real tennis with long rallies and not just serves and short points. For me, it's a really good speed. I've always said that I prefer the slower courts. With this in mind, you'd have to say Carlos Alcaraz, probably the favourite for Paris right now. I think physically, Sinner's played a lot of tennis. Just winning this event and beating Zverev, I think, has taken some out of him. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Alcaraz triumphant in Paris. And that's why I can't be too big on the prospect of Sinner trying to get this world number 1, because I truly, in my heart of hearts, don't think it will happen. But that's my thoughts. I'm now turning my eyes to Paris, and me and Ben will be back for a podcast to discuss everything going on. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon.